world is home to some amazing things, whether that's in the greatest depths of the ocean or in some deserted mountain range. It could be right in front of us, or it could be something that actually needs to be made. The key thing is actually knowing where to look. Sometimes the most dull and mundane things to us actually hold something uniquely special. All it takes is time and just looking at it in the right way.
Get this, humans can actually glow, not just jellyfish or glowworms. A Japanese study in 2009 discovered that human bioluminescence invisible light exists, but we just can't see it. It's 1,000 times lower than the sensitivity of our eyes. We apparently glow the brightest in the late afternoon around the head area and the dimmest at night. This is actually a phenomenon caused by our metabolisms. Exciting molecules in the reaction interact with fluorophores, something that can re-emit light when it gets hit with light as well. All of this together creates the glow effect that was observed. How cool!
So we don't just start magically with all of the bones in our body. 206 if you didn't know. I know that I didn't. As babies actually they have around 300. But much of a baby's bone isn't actually bone, it's made of cartilage, which is why it's less rigid. What you might notice actually in the joints when a baby grows is soft spots. These soft spots are called fontanellas. They're basically just the part in between the cartilage until the bone actually grows and the two separate pieces fuse together. Even more surprisingly, as adults, we still don't have necessarily everything. It's not 100% set, although the number itself probably is. The reason because of that is a process called remodeling, which is where basically new bone tissue grows and the old bone tissue in your body actually gets broken down and flushed to your bloodstream. So you're always changing, you're never actually staying the same, even as an adult.
Something that at least I didn't think was even possible. Your phobias can be passed down through your genes, your actual genes. Researchers from Memorial University School of Medicine found that mice can pass on learned information, such as the fear of the smell of cherry blossom, to their descendants. They think it might help explain why people today have certain fears that just don't make sense in our modern world.
It turns out you don't actually need a partner to get a child. I wouldn't leave your soulmate anytime soon though. There's a 0.1% chance that it can happen, so minutely small. And it's not open to humans, unfortunately, if that was something that you were hoping for, but it is to vertebrates. Parthenogenesis is a process when an egg fertilises another egg instead of a sperm. Now, this does and has actually happened and it has been recorded. The problem is though is that the process creates a WW hatchling, which isn't viable, it just can't survive, but it can create a ZZ male hatchling, and this is exactly what happened with Charlie, a Komodo dragon at Chattanooga Zoo, where she gave birth to 3 male sons.
So, apparently honey can't go off. That's it really. No more information, no more facts. Honey just doesn't rot or biodegrade. So if you find a jar in an Egyptian tomb, it's good enough to eat, don't worry. Science says so. Proven fact.
Science class, that wonderful thing that's always so frustrating. As you move up a class, you tend to find out what you actually thought you knew was right, was wrong. Why they didn't actually tell you this to begin with, I have no idea. It always annoys me, always. Most people know that there are 3 main states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. Some of the more intelligent people out there might know that there's a 4th one, which is plasma. That's it, 4 states. That's really it, as far as I knew anyway, but apparently not. There are other states that have been discovered, but they're not commonly seen in nature, and to be honest, most of them actually have to be created in a lab. It's not something that you can just find in your back garden. For example, in January 2021, a team of scientists managed to discover a new state that had never been discovered before, between the transition of a liquid to a gas, and they decided to call it liquid glass. Another one, which is fermentate condensates, is something that again had to be created in a lab, and this time it's actually superfluid, which means that it has no viscosity, which again basically means that once it starts, it can actually flow forever. So for example, if you had this at the bottom of a hill and pushed it up, it would actually float up the hill. It wouldn't roll back down. How crazy is that? But yes, never believe what you're taught in science. The next level usually suggests that there's some other piece that you're missing, or that what you actually knew was wrong completely anyway. So don't trust your teachers, or professors for that matter.
Everyone knows of the main continents like Africa and Europe, but it seems like microcontinents actually exist too. No, not Atlantis. We can all but hope on that one. No, Zealandia is a long, narrow microcontinent which is mostly submerged in the South Pacific Ocean. It broke off from Australia about 80 million years ago. The only visible part of it today is New Zealand itself. The potential solution to all your pothole problems. Oobleck is like a liquid when it runs, but becomes solid when force is applied to it. A perfect solution to all those holes in our roads. Will this mean that our potholes will be fixed though? Of course not.
Humans aren't the only ones that can actually have their head in the clouds. AI can too. A team created a device called a mem resistor, which enables AI to actually achieve some element of randomness. An AI might ordinarily look at a number of options, some of which might actually be the correct ones, as a solution to a problem. What this mem resistor actually enables it to do is look at all the options more equally, so that it can actually have more time to think about the choices that it's making, rather than just going down some sort of preconceived line. But if AI is getting this intelligent and this waiting around it, who's going to do all the work? If we're not doing it and AI's not doing it, there's not going to be anyone left. Science is constantly evolving and changing. As more discoveries are made, both natural and man-made, the more amazing the world seems to be, or dangerous, depending on what you're actually discovering. It's going to be really fun trying to figure out which new inventions, which new discoveries are. Are they good? Are they bad? What can they be used for? Do they show some other mystery of nature, the world, or the human race that we just don't know about? That's what's so exciting about science. There's always more for it to give, because we just simply can't know it all. There's just too much.